CBBC. 608, CBeebies.
609, Sky Kids.
610, Cartoonito. 611, Boomerang +1. 612, CITV.
613, Nick Jr. 2.
614, Pop. 615, Tiny Pop. 616, Nickelodeon +1. 617, RTE Junior, Republic of Ireland only. 618, Tiny Pop +1. 619, Pop +1. 620, Pop Max. 621, Pop Max +1. 622, Nick Jr. +1. 623, Nickelodeon HD, Republic of Ireland only. 624, RTE Junior, Northern Ireland only. 625, Nick Jr. HD, Republic of Ireland only.
626, Baby TV.
640, Cartoon Network. 641, Boomerang. 642, Nickelodeon. 643, CBBC HD. 644, CBeebies HD. 645, Nick Jr.
660, QVC HD.
661, JML Direct. 662, TJC. 663, QVC.
Staying around the wicket, so he won't hit that a lot. Neat shot. Get 2 for that.
Yeah, and that's the difference between Edgbaston and here. Mitchell Stark didn't play in that first test. Had to wait a few days for seamers to come around the wicket and create that rough that you're talking about.
Ooh, the reverse sweep. I'm not going to put that down as a chance. It's too hard to try and catch that. Steve Smith anticipated brilliantly there and almost, well, probably did create an extremely tough chance. He's hit this pretty well, has Crawley. Keep an eye on Steve Smith. He sees him. Oh, that would have been some catch. No, he didn't really get a hand on him in the leg. I can't put that down as a chance.
Great piece of anticipation from Smith. Reads it very, very well and nearly pulls off something amazing.
Oh, nice bounce. We like him there, boy.
I don't mind Nathan Lyon bowling a few overs from this end because he still will spin the odd one. That slope might just work in his favour. There's Smith again. As you say, brilliant anticipation. Saw Zach Crawley go early into that lap sweep shot.
Oh, yeah, there it is, boy.
58 without loss.
Yeah, I don't mind him starting this end.
Jane, this is very personal to you. You know, we played that film there, and actually it was very uplifting. It could have been a very, very sad film, but it was very uplifting in terms of Chris coming to terms with her friends, her loved ones, and them coming to terms with what will happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't realise, that when you're willing to face the end, and in Chris's case, you have to, actually it can be okay. And the more that you embrace the fact that actually we're all going to die, the statistics show that 100% of us are going to die, the easier it is to face that. And that's why we have these ideas, new ideas coming through, like the living funerals.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify.
You know the best thing about being a... You know the best thing... You know the best thing about being a VIP? Is you get the best treatment.
So I get the same great TV deals as new customers.
And when my broadband contract ends, I get a low price sent to me.
I can get seats at the biggest...
And I'm getting places I only ever dreamed of.
At Sky, everyone gets treated like a VIP. Oh.
I like your outfit.
Sky VIP. It gets better and better the longer you're with us.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify.
In a land not so far. In a land not so. In a land not so far, far away, the three bears found a new way to protect their home. Sky Protect. It's smart tech and home insurance working together. Smart Home Insurance. It comes with all this smart tech worth £250. So, if you do catch someone like Goldilocks here, our 5-star home insurance has got you covered. Smart Home Insurance. It feels just right. Live happily ever smarter. Search Sky Protect.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Even living this high up, I still like to keep an eye on things, like my golden goose. With all this smart tech, Jack won't be climbing my beanstalk again.
I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Scottish, actually. I've got a delivery for Greg.
Just leave it by the beanstalk.
Well, don't get me started on Goldilocks. Our smart tech caught her breaking our chairs. She even ate our overnight oats. Good thing insurance is included. It felt just right. Smart tech and home insurance. Smart Home Insurance. From Sky Protect.
Open Spotify.
Welcome to Fit. At home, in the gym, get fit your way. We have over 1,000 connected workouts, dozens of training plans and monthly challenges, led by the most in-demand trainers, all designed to get you fitter, stronger and more flexible. Track your progress, amp it up and get results. This is Fit.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
We're in Trafalgar Square at West End Live.
What a lovely place. The atmosphere is magic.
Let's see, we won.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Back to the Future, the musical.
Absolutely love being a Sky VIP. Great perks being in the tent today and great view of the stage.
Everything was amazing. The drinks, the sweets. It's been really extra special today, so thank you very much. Love it!
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
Goodbye.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
We are playing some blind cricket here at Lord's today, the home of cricket.
Sky, you've brought us down in a masterclass with some cultures.
I tried on the different lenses you can put on, which give you an idea of what it's like, different levels of blindness. Now, I truly appreciate what they go through.
What we do is the easy version, clearly.
We've had an amazing day. When would we get a chance to have a game on Lord's cricket ground?
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
We're in Brighton for the Sky VIP Tom Gates Doodle Workshop.
We've got so many fun things today.
We entered via the Sky VIP app. We've never won anything like this before. This was an amazing opportunity.
The highlights for today are probably doing all the doodles and drawing on the pencil case.
Massive thank you to Sky VIP for our weekend.
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
We are in Drury Lane Theatre. I'm on the red carpet, and there's a few faces that I've seen.
Definitely feel like a VIP. We've had hair and makeup this afternoon.
And non-stop treats. We were in a lovely box. Great visual of the stage.
I definitely feel underdressed now next to you.
Enter, definitely, because you can win.
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
This is your first car?
This was my uncle's parting gift.
When I told him, I don't think he believed it.
Are you really here?
Yes. Had you kept it in the sea?
It's something you want to bring back to life.
They're more than just a chunk of metal. That has memories woven into it.
This is something I've been dreaming of for many years.
That's why you enter Sky VIP competitions, because you can't get that experience anywhere else.
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
Open Spotify.
Music is very, very important in Brassic. The thing we really want to do, sign an unsigned artist. It's a new sound. We're going to put it in a big TV show. It's brilliant.
Baby, I'm a narcissist.
Listen, you've won.
Right.
We love it! Well done.
It was amazing.
It was great.
It's still surreal to see and hear ourselves.
Find your unforgettable experience in the My Sky app. Sky VIP. It's the treatment you deserve.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. Open Spotify.
Well, my favorite.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Hey, Dad.
It was like a ghost. I saw its eyes.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Sky's documentary channels and +1 channels are on the move. From the 1st of May, our incredible documentaries will have a new home. When you visit your Sky TV guide, you'll discover all our documentary channels are moving up the list. And all our +1 channels will be moving together to a new home. And to make it easy, there'll be a new tab so you can find all our +1 channels across your Sky TV guide in one place. So documentaries are easy to find, and your +1 channels will all be listed together in a new +1 tab. None of these changes affect your series links, favorites, or recordings, so you don't need to worry about updating anything. We'll do it all for you.
And lift off.
For a full list of changes, go to sky.com/channel changes.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. I'll be back. Open Spotify. 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 I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Yeah, next time I'll bring you here. Have a look at this.
Casey.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm your personal trainer. Nice work. You ready for more?
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
This is Sky Glass. This is Sky Glass. This is Sky Glass. This is Sky. This is Sky Glass, the new TV from...
Isn't it just a smart TV?
No, actually, it's a smarter TV.
Smarter how?
Well, this TV takes all your shows out of all your apps and puts them in one place.
So no more trekking around.
Exactly. You'll never waste time searching through apps again.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Find me, Paw Patrol!
All right, all right. Whatever you want to watch, just ask the TV. Simple.
But what if we don't know what we want to watch?
But we know we want it to be funny. Say, find me comedy. Can it be a rom-com? Sure, no problem. Sky Glass can find anything.
Can I find my keys?
Not just yet.
Okay, what else makes it smart?
Well, all that stuff comes in a 4K TV with a 360 Dolby Atmos soundbar built in. So you don't need this, or these, or those remotes. That's better.
Thing is, I can't get Sky. I can't have a dish.
You don't need one. It all works over Wi-Fi!
That's smart.
No, it's smarter. Sky Glass. Smarter than a smart TV.
I'll be back.
Yeah, next time I'll bring you here. Have a look at this.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify.
stripe possible was on his Ford Fiesta. Is that right, Elliot? The middle, the sides, the windscreen?
Windscreen.
All up the middle, and if he had them divided on the windscreen so he could just see out. I'm sure it wasn't legal, but he didn't care. He loved that car. He absolutely loved it. What about you? Ford Fiestas? Automatically starts a conversation with us, and still get in touch with us by email and on Twitter.
Looking forward to some...
Lock. 3 easy-to-use features, bringing the best of Sky Q to the whole family.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
Say hello to the award-winning Sky Q box. You can have peace of mind with Kids Safe Mode. It lets the kids enjoy all the stuff they love, while you know they're safe from anything too grown up. Simply select Safe Mode, enter your TV PIN, and we'll take care of the rest, meaning everything on screen is suitable for ages 12 and under. Or within parental control settings, you can PIN protect all movies by age rating. And if you want more control, by using Program Lock on your recordings, you can relax knowing the little ones won't have access to anything they shouldn't. Kids Safe Mode, Parental Control and Program Lock. 3 easy-to-use features, bringing the best of Sky Q to the whole family.
I'll be back. Open Spotify.
MTA1 World HD 732 Hum Masala 733 Hidayat TV 734 GEO News 735 PTV Global 736 New Vision TV 737 Islam Channel 738 GEO TV 739 Noor TV 740 Peace TV 742 Ikra TV 743 92 News 744 Islam TV 745 Alabait TV 746 Madani Channel 747 Peace TV Urdu 749 Takbir TV 750 TV 99 751 Hum Europe 752 British Muslim 753 Safir TV 754 Dunya News 755 Islam Channel Urdu 756 Channel 44 757 Iman Channel 758 ARY Digital. 759 Sama TV. 760 Siraj TV. 761 QTV Religious. 762 Prime TV. 766 PTC Punjabi. 767 Brit Asia TV. 768 Sikh Channel. 769 Sangat. 770 Akal Channel. 770 Beauty. 664 Ideal World HD. 665 Gems TV. 666 High Street TV 1. 667 High Street TV 2. 668 TJC Beauty. 669 Best Direct. 670 Hobby Maker. 671 Ideal Extra. 672 High Street TV 3. 673 Create and Craft HD. 674 Jewelry Maker. 675 High Street TV 4. 676 TV Warehouse. 677 QVC Style HD. 678 Direct Store TV. 679 QVC Extra. 680 Craft Extra. 681 Cruise First TV. 701 Before You Movies. 702 Sony TV HD. 704 Utsav Bharat. 705 Utsav Plus. 706 Colors. 707 Z Cinema. 708 Republic Bharat. 709 ZTV HD. 710 Aj Tak. 711 MATV National. 712 Food XP. 713 Colors Rishti. 714 Colors Cineplex. 715 Sony Max HD. 717 Utsav Gold. 718 Sony SAB. 720 Sony Max 2. 721 Before You Plus. 724 Asta. 725 Sanskar. 731 MTA1 World HD. 732 Hum Masala. 733 Hidayat TV. 734 GEO News. 735 PTV Global. 736 New Vision TV. 737 Islam Channel. 738 GEO TV. 739 Noor TV. 740 Peace TV. 742 Ikra TV. 743 92 News. 744 Islam TV. 745 Alabait TV. 746 Madani Channel. 747 Peace TV Urdu. 749 Takbir TV. 750 TV 99. 751 Hum Europe. 752 British Muslim. 753 Safir TV. 754 Dunya News. 755 Islam Channel Urdu. 756 Channel 44. 757 Iman Channel. 758 ARY Digital. 759 Sama TV. 760 Siraj TV. 761 QTV Religious. 762 Prime TV. 766 PTC Punjabi. 767 Brit Asia TV. 768 Sikh Channel. 769 Sangat. 770 Akal Channel. 771 KTV. 772 Kanchi TV. 773 Pitara. 774 Politics Punjab. 777 CHS-TV 778 Ikra Bangla 779 ATN 780 NTV 781 TV1 782 Ion TV 783 Deen TV 784 Islam Bangla 787 Alulbeit TV 788 Sky News Arabia 789 Imam Hussein 3 791 PCNE Chinese HD 794 Colors Gujarati 801 BBC One West HD 801 BBC One South West
Yay!
One Nat Geo Wild 842 Sky History 2 Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland 844 BBC Scotland 8 849 Sky Cinema Greats SD 850 Sky Cinema Family SD 851 8
BBC Radio 1, 0102, BBC Radio 2, 0103, BBC Radio 3, 0104, BBC Radio 4 FM, 0105, BBC Radio 5 Live, 0106, Classic FM, 0107, Absolute, 0108, TalkSport, 0109, Capital, 0110, Planet Rock, 0111, Heart, 0112, Heart 80s, 0113, Radio X, 0114, Capital Extra, 0115, BBC World Service, 0116, BBC Radio Scotland, 0117, BBC Radio Wales, 0118, BBC Radio Ulster, 0119, BBC Asian, 0120, BBC 6 Music, 0121, Gold, 0122, WRN Europe,
0123, LBC, 0124, Smooth, 0125, Punjab Radio, 0126, BBC Radio 4 Extra, 0127, BBC Radio 1X, 0128, TWR, 0129, BBC Radio Nagale, 0130, BBC Radio 4 Longwave, 0131, BBC Radio 5 SX, 0132, Heart Dance, 0133, Suk Sagar, 0134, Kush Kabri, 0135, BBC Radio London, 0136, BBC Radio Cymru, 0137, RTE Radio 1, 0138, RTE 2FM, 0139, RTE Lyric FM, 0140, RTE Radio Nagelta, 0141, Kiss, 0142, Magic, 0143, Hits Radio, 0144, Absolute 80s, 0145, Absolute 90s, 0146, Jazz FM,
0147, EWTN Catholic,
0148, Classic Rock.
Hello everyone, I'm Angelica Bell, and over the next few minutes I'm going to help you get the very best out of your Sky Q, your television and sound system. Now whatever you've got and however you've got it wired, we're going to take you through everything you need to know to get the very most out of it. Now I've come in today and it's a beautiful day outside. The birds are singing and there's not a cloud in the sky. So here I am in a windowless TV studio with no aircon in southwest London. Still, I can't complain. I like what they've done with the place. It's pretty cool, yeah. But let's be honest, it's not as nice as the one they gave to Idris Elba in those Sky adverts. Just saying. But the main thing is, there is a cool sofa. So limber up, get warm and ready, guys, because we are about to do some serious, and I mean serious, sitting down. Everything that you need to do to tweak your Sky Q setup can be done from the comfort of your sofa. And to make this as easy as possible, we've broken everything down into different sections, starting from the basics and working our way through to how you can optimize the brightness, contrast and color settings for your own living room. We also want to make sure you've got the sharpest and best pictures possible. And finally, if you have a separate sound system, how to configure your audio setup. You got that? Good. But before we get on with the more advanced stuff, there are a few things that would help with this tutorial and make it go smoothly. Firstly, it's a good idea to get to know your TV's remote control. And also, why not grab the instruction manuals for your TV, Sky Q box and home cinema system to help you with this tutorial. Remember, your TV will always have a default or factory setting in case you want to restore them at any point. Just make sure you remember how to select that before you begin. That way, you've only got yourself to blame and not me or Sky. Just saying. Now, as you can imagine, there are many different models of high definition and ultra high definition TVs out there. And each manufacturer has their own unique way of changing the basic settings. That's why it's really important to have your manuals to hand, because different manufacturers use different terms and names for their features. And some settings may not even apply to your TV. So, for this purpose and for this tutorial, I'll be using the most well-known or generic terms. And do not worry if you get stuck. You can always rewind this tutorial and go through each section again until you're happy that you've got everything set up as you want. And just so you know, we've numbered the sections to make it easy for you, so you can skip over the ones that don't apply to your setup and return to the menu at any time to navigate to the next relevant section. If, however, you are already a technical Jedi and are happy to calibrate your own system, then why not skip to the end and check out our 2 brand new test cards that will help you configure your system and get the best out of your television. But for everyone else, here's a quick preview, and please do not worry if this means nothing to you yet, because it will, I promise. And as we go through each part of the setup, we'll explain how we've got everything set up.
145, challenge.
Got everything.
CBS Reality.
147, reality extra. 148, legend.
149, Quest Red.
150, 5 action.
Hello everyone, I'm Angelica Bell, and over the next few minutes I'm going to help you get the very best out of your Sky Q, your television and sound system. Now, whatever you've got and however you've got it wired, we're going to take you through everything you need to know to get the very most out of it. Now, I've come in today and it's a beautiful day outside. The birds are singing and there's not a cloud in the sky. So here I am in a windowless TV studio with no aircon in southwest London. Still, I can't complain. I like what they've done with the place. It's pretty cool, yeah. But let's be honest, it's not as nice as the one they gave to Idris Elba in those Sky adverts. Just saying. But the main thing is, there is a cool sofa. So limber up, get warm and ready, guys, because we are about to do some serious, and I mean serious, sitting down. Everything that you need to do to tweak your Sky Q setup can be done from the comfort of your sofa. And to make this as easy as possible, we've broken everything down into different sections, starting from the basics and working our way through to how you can optimize the brightness, contrast and color settings for your own living room. We also want to make sure you've got the sharpest and best pictures possible. And finally, if you have a separate sound system, how to configure your audio setup. You got that? Good. But before we get on with the more advanced stuff, there are a few things that would help with this tutorial and make it go smoothly. Firstly, it's a good idea to get to know your TV's remote control. And also, why not grab the instruction manuals for your TV, Sky Q box and home cinema system to help you with this tutorial. Remember, your TV will always have a default or factory setting in case you want to restore them at any point. Just make sure you remember how to select that before you begin. That way, you've only got yourself to blame and not me or Sky. Just saying. Now, as you can imagine, there are many different models of high definition and ultra high definition TVs out there. And each manufacturer has their own unique way of changing the basic settings. That's why it's really important to have your manuals to hand, because different manufacturers use different terms and names for their features. And some settings may not even apply to your TV. So, for this purpose and for this tutorial, I'll be using the most well-known or generic terms. And do not worry if you get stuck. You can always rewind this tutorial and go through each section again until you're happy that you've got everything set up as you want. And just so you know, we've numbered the sections to make it easy for you, so you can skip over the ones that don't apply to your setup and return to the menu at any time to navigate to the next relevant section. If, however, you are already a technical Jedi and are happy to calibrate your own system, then why not skip to the end and check out our 2 brand new test cards that will help you configure your system and get the best out of your television. But for everyone else, here's a quick preview, and please do not worry if this means nothing to you yet, because it will, I promise. And as we go through each part of the setup, we'll explain how both cards work and how you can use them to calibrate your own system to give you the very best performance. And just so
250 Paramount +1, 254 ID +1, 255 Yesterday +1, 256 Crime and Investigation +1, 257 Great TV +1, 258 HGTV +1, 261 Discovery Turbo +1, 262 Animal Planet +1, 262 HGTV +1, Republic of Ireland only, 266 Eden +1, 267 Discovery Science +1, 271 Discovery History +1, 272 DMAX +1, 279 Sony Crime +1, 289 Animal Planet +1, Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland, 301 Sky Cinema Premiere HD,
302 Sky Cinema Fast and Furious HD, 303 Sky Cinema Hits HD, 304 Sky Cinema Greats HD, 305 Sky Cinema Fairy Tale HD, 306 Sky Cinema Family HD, 307 Sky Cinema Action HD,
308 Sky Cinema Comedy HD, 309 Sky Cinema Thriller HD,
310 Sky Cinema Drama HD, 311 Sky Cinema Sci-Fi Horror HD,
312 Sky Cinema Premiere +1, 313 Film 4 HD, 314 Film 4 +1, 315 TCM Movies, 316 TCM Movies +1,
317 Horror Extra, 318 Horror Extra +1, 319 Great Romance, 320 Great Romance +1,
321 Great Movies, 322 Great Movies +1, 323 Great Movies Action, 324 Great Movies Action +1,
325 Movies 24, 326 Movies 24 Plus,
327 Retro Movies, 328 Talking Pictures, 329 ROK Rock, 342 Sky Comedy HD Republic of Ireland only, 350 MTV Music, 351 MTV Hits,
352 MTV 90s, 353 MTV 80s, 354 4 Music, 355 The Box,
356 Kiss, 357 Magic, 358 Kerrang, 360 Trace Vault, 361 Now 70s,
362 Now 80s, 363 Now Rock,
364 Clubland TV,
365 That's 60s, 366 That's 70s, 367 That's 80s,
401 Sky Sports Main Event HD, 402 Sky Sports Premier League HD, 403 Sky Sports Football HD.
404, Sky Sports Cricket HD. 405, Sky Sports Golf HD.
406, Sky Sports F1 HD.
407, Sky Sports Action HD. 408, Sky Sports Arena HD.
409, Sky Sports News HD. 410, Eurosport 1 HD. 411, Eurosport 2 HD.
412, Viaplay 1 HD.
413, BT Sport 1. 414, BT Sport 2. 415, Sky Sports Racing HD. 416, Sky Sports Mix. 417, BT Sport 3. 418, MUTV HD.
419, Viaplay 2 HD. 421, BT Sport 4 HD. 423, Liverpool FC TV HD. 424, Racing TV. 425, Ginex Esports TV. 429, DAZN 1 HD.
438, Prime Video HD. 456, ABN TV. 490, BT Sports Box Office HD. 491, Sky Sports Box Office. 492, Sky Sports Box Office HD.
493, BT Sport Ultimate UHD.
494, BT Sport Box Office 2 HD.
495, DAZN Pay-Per-View HD.
501, Sky News HD. 502, Bloomberg HD. 503, BBC News.
504, BBC Parliament SD.
505, CNBC. 506, CNN. 507, NHK World HD. 508, Euronews.
509, NDTV 24/7. 510, France 24 HD. 511, Al Jazeera HD. 512, GB News HD. 513, TRT World. 515, Channels 24. 516, Arise News. 517, RTE News. 518, Arirang TV HD. 519, WION HD. 520, TVC News. 521, NBC News Now HD. 522, Talk TV HD.
580, God Channel. 581, Revelation. 5
Hey, I'm your personal trainer.
Keep your chest up.
Three, two, one. Drop it down.
Nice work. You ready for more?
.607, CBBC. 608, CBeebies.
180.
Oh my God.
Only. 624 RTE Junior, Northern Ireland only. 625 Nick Junior HD, Republic of Ireland only.
626 Baby TV.
Hello everyone, I'm Angelica Bell, and over the next few minutes I'm going to help you get the very best out of your Sky Q, your television and sound system. Now, whatever you've got and however you've got it wired, we're going to take you through everything you need to know to get the very most out of it. Now, I've come in today and it's a beautiful day outside. The birds are singing and there's not a cloud in the sky. So here I am in a windowless TV studio with no aircon in southwest London. Still, I can't complain. I like what they've done with the place. It's pretty cool, yeah. But let's be honest, it's not as nice as the one they gave to Idris Elba in those Sky adverts. Just saying. But the main thing is, there is a cool sofa. So limber up, get warm and ready, guys, because we are about to do some serious, and I mean serious, sitting down. Everything that you need to do to tweak your Sky Q setup can be done from the comfort of your sofa. And to make this as easy as possible, we've broken everything down into different sections, starting from the basics and working our way through to how you can optimize the brightness, contrast and color settings for your own living room. We also want to make sure you've got the sharpest and best pictures possible. And finally, if you have a separate sound system, how to configure your audio setup. You got that? Good. But before we get on with the more advanced stuff, there are a few things that would help with this tutorial and make it go smoothly. Firstly, it's a good idea to get to know your TV's remote control. And also, why not grab the instruction manuals for your TV, Sky Q box and home cinema system to help you with this tutorial. Remember, your TV will always have a default or factory setting in case you want to restore them at any point. Just make sure you remember how to select that before you begin. That way, you've only got yourself to blame and not me or Sky. Just saying. Now, as you can imagine, there are many different models of high definition and ultra high definition TVs out there. And each manufacturer has their own unique way of changing the basic settings. That's why it's really important to have your manuals to hand, because different manufacturers use different terms and names for their features. And some settings may not even apply to your TV. So, for this purpose and for this tutorial, I'll be using the most well-known or generic terms. And do not worry if you get stuck. You can always rewind this tutorial and go through each section again until you're happy that you've got everything set up as you want. And just so you know, we've numbered the sections to make it easy for you, so you can skip over the ones that don't apply to your setup and return to the menu at any time to navigate to the next relevant section. If, however, you are already a technical Jedi and are happy to calibrate your own system, then why not skip to the end and check out our 2 brand new test cards that will help you configure your system and get the best out of your television. But for everyone else, here's a quick preview, and please do not worry if this means nothing to you yet, because it... and get the best out of your television. But for everyone else, here's a quick preview, and please do not worry if this means nothing to you yet, because it will, I promise. And as we go through each part of the setup, we'll explain how both cards work and how you can use them to calibrate your own system to give you the very best performance. And talking of performance, let's get on with the show and see what's on.
756, Channel 44.
Right, folks, in this section, we're going to look at your HD or UHD setup. Now, when you first had Sky Q installed, it will have been set up to your screen's resolution. So if you had HD, then Sky's recommended HD resolution would be 1080i. And that just means, and I've just learnt this myself, I'm being completely honest, the number of lines per image that Sky currently broadcasts HD in. So if you want to check if you're currently watching in HD or UHD, then go to the settings menu, select Setup and scroll down to the audio visual option. This is where it will show your current resolution and settings. And please remember that for the moment, UHD is only available through your main Sky Q box and not through a Sky Mini box. And if you already had a UHD TV before your Sky Q was connected, then they should have already configured the screen to be connected correctly. So someone did it for you. So much easier. But some of you will already know there's a new girl in town with twice the amount of lines and 4 times the number of pixels per image than HD, giving an overall more detailed picture. Welcome to the world of UHD. I know, yes, UHD has around 4 times the amount of resolution as HD. And if you've got a TV that supports UHD, then you can configure your television to enjoy all the movies, sports and shows that you love in a bigger and better definition than ever before. Now, before we go any further, let's try and keep things simple. You've probably also heard of the term 4K as well as UHD. Well, if we're being 100% accurate, 4K is almost identical to UHD in format, but marginally wider to accommodate those huge cinema screen dimensions. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we'll be sticking to one term throughout, and that'll be UHD. Like I said, we're going to keep this simple. Do you know what I think? I think we've got enough acronyms flying around already. OMG, LOL, O and FYI. To make sure that you're seeing true UHD footage, then you need to configure your TV in... Do you know what I think? I think we've got enough acronyms flying around already. OMG, LOL, O and FYI. To make sure that you're seeing true UHD footage, then you need to configure your TV in a similar way to configuring HD. If this is your first trip into UHD territory, then do not worry. Let's get ready to venture out of our comfort zones and into the new frontier together.
UHD 817 IT.
To configure your UHD setup, what you'll need to do, now pay attention here because there are a lot of menus in this, and I'm not talking about the food variety, is go into your set-top box menu, select settings, and then setup. There you will see another menu for audio visual. Under that, you will see an option for picture resolution, which will automatically be set at 1080i, the default setting for regular HD TV. This is where you can select 2160p to configure your TV to a UHD resolution if you have a TV that supports the UHD format, and that's really important. So here are your 3 options. Find it for me. I mean, that's the lazy one. 10-bit or 8-bit. For UHD, 10-bit is the one you want, as it gives each pixel more levels of detail and colour. However, some TVs need a little more encouragement, and you might have to manually select the TV's input to UHD or deep colour mode. The deep colour settings can usually be found under the HDMI section in the TV's menu. And if Find It For Me doesn't work, try selecting the manual 10-bit option for a UHD output. And similar to before, the 8-bit setting is the default for an older standard HD setup. Once you select it, Find It For Me or 10-bit, the screen should go blank for a few seconds, and if you've been successful, then you will see a message asking you if you want these settings. Select yes, but within 10 seconds, the box will revert back to the default settings. You've got to be quick, I'm telling you. Once you've confirmed, you should then see the magical words, "You are now set up to get Ultra HD, hurrah!" Now, you might remember in the introduction that I mentioned some test cards which would help you configure your setup correctly. Well, here's where the cards really come into play. To double-check the resolution your TV is currently displaying, you can use this section at the bottom. The vertical lines vary in width as we move across the screen from left to right. The finer lines are at the far right, and these should be visible in UHD. If this region appears as a grey box instead, you are watching in HD only. You can access our test cards from the top menu to help configure the best settings for your TV. They're the last two sections in this group of tutorials. One is for HDR and the other SDR. Watching in HD only. You can access our test cards from the top menu to help configure the best settings for your TV. They're the last two sections in this group of tutorials. One is for HDR and the other SDR. But if you're wondering what HDR and SDR means, I'm glad you asked. What does it mean? Only joking. Now we're rolling. Let's crack on and move on to the next chapter, how to configure your dynamic ranges.
887, BBC Parliament.
Well, we've gone at least 1 whole minute without throwing some acronyms at you. So brace yourself for 2 more. SDR and HDR. But what are they? And what difference do they make to your picture? Well, just in case you've never heard of these terms before, SDR and HDR stand for Standard Dynamic Range and High Dynamic Range. But what is a dynamic range? Well, simply put, it's the number of colours and levels of brightness your TV setup can display, from the whitest white to the blackest black and every colour in between. And here's where it gets a little complicated. If you have an HD setup, then you automatically have a standard dynamic range, which looks great, it's easy on the eye, and does the job of showing a wide range of colours and shading. But if you have a UHD setup, you can either have the same standard dynamic range as HD does, or if your TV allows you to, you'll be able to watch available programmes in a high dynamic range. The difference is that HDR has even more colours in its palette, has a better contrast ratio, and will give you so much more detail in the brightest and darkest parts of your picture. So basically, HDR allows you to enjoy a more vivid experience. OK, well, here's an example. In SDR, sometimes there aren't enough shades of a colour to blend seamlessly across certain images, and you'll be able to spot something called banding, where you can see lines appearing across an image. Even though SDR can deliver over 16 million colours, your HDR display could give you over 1 billion different colours, meaning the images just blend together even more seamlessly, giving you an even more beautifully detailed and vivid picture. To test if your TV can display HDR images or if it's SDR only, then you can use the test cards we mentioned in the previous chapter to put your setup through the necessary paces. To check your SDR and HDR, you'll mainly be looking at this part of the card. These bars will look smooth with no banding on if you're watching in HDR. However, if you can see any banding, then your setup is displaying SDR, which could mean one of 2 things. Either your setup can only display SDR, or you may still be in 8-bit mode. Quickly check your UHD settings on the SkyQ menu, like we spoke about before, to make sure you have 10-bit selected, and fingers crossed, you could be HDR capable after all. Now, as we briefly mentioned before, we've included 2 test cards at the end of this tutorial. So which one should you be using when you're configuring your setup? Well, if you've established that your TV can only display SDR, then the SDR test card is the one and only card you'll need. But for HDR users, it's important to remember that not everything Sky broadcasts can be shown in HDR. For example, some older material might only broadcast in SDR. Therefore, if you are HDR capable, you should use the HDR test card to help tweak your settings. But in addition to that, you may need to do another calibration using the SDR card. Now, that's because When your TV switches between the two formats, depending on what you're watching, it may not apply all the settings you saved from your HDR calibrations to your SDR output, or vice versa. You still with me? All right, just take a moment. Take a breath. Should we do a basic recap? There's a lot of information there. Okay. SDR viewers only ever need the SDR test card, whereas for HDR viewers, it's a good idea to use both cards and do calibrations for each. We've got this, team. We can do this. Just a reminder that the test cards can be found via the main tutorial menu in the last. For HDR viewers, it's a good idea to use both cards and do calibrations for each. We've got this, team. We can do this. Just a reminder that the test cards can be found via the main tutorial menu in the last 2 chapters. But before you take a look at those, there are a few more sections that you might want to tweak to get the best out of your setup. So let's keep this momentum going. We can do this and move on to the next chapter.
0137.
Next up is aspect ratio and positioning of picture. HD and UHD only ever broadcast in an aspect ratio of 16:9 widescreen. And rather conveniently, as you're using an HDMI cable to connect your Sky Q box to your TV, it will automatically be set to 16:9. And it's worth remembering that if you've made the step up to UHD, your old HDMI cable may not be up to the needs of the latest UHD content. So it's a really good idea to get a good quality one so you get the most out of your setup. However, some TVs can lose a bit of the overall picture at the edges, so it's best to make sure the entire image is displayed and at the right ratio. On our test cards, you'll be able to see some arrows to the top, bottom, left and right of the picture. Make sure that the white point of each arrow just touches the edge of your screen. If the grey point of the arrow is touching the edge, then you're losing some of your overall image. So to fix this, you need to adjust your TV's picture settings. Your TV may have a zoom or just scan function with a specific 16:9 aspect ratio setting to do this. So adjust your screen until you see the most amount of picture, and also make sure the circle in the centre of the test card is a true circle, not an egg. Picture. And also make sure the circle in the centre of the test card is a true circle. Not an egg or a rugby ball shape, but a perfect round circle. Perfect. So now that we're looking at the bigger picture and in the correct ratio, let's make it look as beautiful as possible by checking out the brightness and contrast levels.
HD, Wales only. 1.
Okay, here's a question for you. How do you watch your movies and TV shows? With a few lights on and the curtains ajar? I know, it's a bit personal. Or in a room like a darkened cinema? Because your black levels or brightness and contrast depend on how you watch television. A darkened room is better as you'll get more from your TV and less reflections of bright objects. Plus, you'll see more details in the dark areas if you're in a darker room, and those shadows will teem with life. Setting your brightness and contrast will depend on whether you are viewing in HDR or SDR, as the high dynamic range output has higher white levels and lower black levels, giving you a wider range between the lightest and darkest parts of the scene. Like we mentioned before, if you are able to watch in HDR, you may also need to tweak these brightness and contrast settings using both versions of the test card, as some TVs remember HDR and SDR settings independently. So to help you adjust this level, you can use this area of the test cards. This is our grey scale, a collection of shaded squares which help you to calibrate your brightness and contrast. If your TV remote will allow, alter the brightness until you can only just see the black Sky logo within the darkest square. And if the logo disappears, then your brightness setting is too low and you should increase it slightly until the Sky logo only just reappears. Once you're happy with that, it's time to adjust your contrast settings. In the lightest square, you should just about be able to make out the grey Sky logo inside. If the logo disappears, then your contrast level is too high and you'll need to reduce it slightly until the logo just reappears. The final adjustment is up to you. High and you'll need to reduce it slightly until the logo just reappears. The final adjustment is up to you. Not too dull, not too bright. And as a general rule of thumb, it shouldn't hurt your eyes when you look at the screen. Once you're happy with everything, then you're ready to move on to the next section, how to balance the correct colour levels.
1:55. Yesterday.
Getting your screen to look absolutely perfect is addictive, so I'm glad you're still with us. Now, in this section, we're going to help you make sure that you have the correct colour levels for your setup. Once again, lots of TVs have different ways of setting the colour temperature and saturation. So check your manufacturer's manual and then you can adjust accordingly. And here's something to help you get your levels set just as you like them. If your TV remote will allow it, adjust the colour settings to make these beautiful looking faces look most natural to your eye. Each face should not be too glowing and red or sickly and green, but they should look absolutely natural to you. Use these colour bars to adjust the colour saturation. The primary colours, red, blue and green, should look vibrant and have a natural hue, as well as the secondary colours, yellow, cyan and magenta. Also check the grey areas within the card. All the shades should be true greys and not have any hint of colour to them. If you can see a colour tint across the greys, adjust your TV's colour temperature setting until it looks natural. Some TV manufacturers may use different shades should be true greys and not have any hint of colour to them. If you can see a colour tint across the greys, adjust your TV's colour temperature setting until it looks natural. Some TV manufacturers may use different terms for this setting, so refer back to your TV manual if in doubt. All good? Great. So now you've got your faces and your colour scales all looking perfect. You're ready to move on to the next chapter. Boom.
+1. 208. Sky Atlantic.
Exciting! So we only have one last visual element of the setup process left, making sure your images are sharp and clearly defined. Now, hopefully your TV should have the sharpness settings already calibrated and looking great. And if so, then there's no need to adjust anything. This is one element of the setup process where we would definitely say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So to help you check your TV's sharpness, then you can use the black and white squares on these parts of the test cards. You will see they have black lines passing through the white squares and white lines passing through the black squares. All the lines should be clearly defined all the way through, and the edges should be smooth and clean, not blurry edges or ghostly double edges. It should also be clean black and white with no colour bleeding across the joins. You can then quickly check the resolution chart at the bottom to make sure you can see all the lines clearly. Like we said, hopefully this should already be set up correctly, but if not, then you may need to use your TV's remote and adjust your picture sharpness to get the best possible look. And remember, if you're only viewing in HD, then you'll only see the fine lines resolved up to HD resolution. The UHD resolution on the far right will appear fuzzy and blurred. To get a true full UHD resolution, you'll need a UHD TV and UHD SkyQ set-top box. So that's the visuals covered, but we're not quite there yet. One more chapter to go. Only this time, we're moving on to the audio elements. So if you don't have a separate sound system, SkyQ set-top box. So that's the visuals covered, but we're not quite there yet. One more chapter to go. Only this time, we're moving on to the audio elements. So if you don't have a separate sound system, you can skip straight to the test cards and configure all the elements we've covered so far. But for those of you with a sound system, select the next chapter, turn it up to 11 and prepare yourself. It's gonna get loud.
Fast and Furious HD.
Now we know our UHDs from our HDs and our SDRs from our HDRs, it's time to leave the picture alone. Stop. Next up, we are going to configure your sound options. And whoever said a picture is worth 1,000 words clearly didn't have immersive audio. Now, if you don't have a 5.1 or immersive home cinema system, then you can skip this section. Go on, just move straight on to the test cards. But for those of us still here, let's double check the basics before we go through your speaker configuration and talk about Dolby 5.1 and Dolby Atmos. Both of these make watching TV a truly cinematic experience. So with over 5 channels of audio and a rumbling bass, you'll be blown away by the action. And with Atmos, you can add height to your experience for true immersion. But before we get to that, make sure your speakers are wired up correctly, not just in the right position, but also with like-for-like wires going into the speakers, because if you get this wrong, you'll hear strange phasing sounds, and some speakers may even cancel each other out. And nobody wants to watch TV in mono, do they now? Now, for a Dolby 5.1 configuration, the speakers are located around the room in their respective positions. Front left, front right, the center speaker, the rear left speaker, and the rear right speaker. And the final speaker in the 5.1 setup is for low frequency sound and is usually called the subwoofer or the LFE, which stands for low frequency effects. But honestly, I much prefer the term subwoofer. It sounds way more fun and I love saying it. Woofer, woofer. Back in the room. So, to start with, you should be hearing this from your front left speaker. If not, then your speakers aren't set up correctly and you do need to reset them. This should only be coming from the front left. Rewind this section if you need more time. Next, you should only be able to hear this coming from your front right speaker. If not, then once again, you've guessed it, your speakers are incorrectly set up and you do need to reset them. Next up, the center speaker. So you should only be able to hear this coming from your center speaker. If not, then you'll need to reset your speakers once more. Next, let's check your back left speaker. You should only be hearing this from your back left. If not, then you'll need to reset your speakers once more. Next up, back right. Once again, you should only be hearing this from your back right speaker. If not, then go and check your speaker setup. Finally, your subwoofer. Ooh, woofer. So if all those sounds are coming from the correct speakers, then your 5.1 system is all wired up correctly and ready to go. Your home cinema system should now be set up correctly and receiving Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound. But for those of you who have UHD and an external amplifier that's compatible, you can now watch your favourite shows in Dolby Atmos. We're going to get a little more complex now because Dolby Atmos really takes it to the next level. Depending on the size of your room and how much of an audiophile you are, Atmos allows you to add 2 or more extra speakers on both sides, either at height or up firing from the floor so that you can have an even more immersive experience when you're watching your favourite films and TV shows. So if you have Atmos speakers, let's run a quick test through these as well. Hopefully you heard the audio coming from the correct places, and if so, then your Atmos speakers are configured correctly. If not, you know what to do. Check the wiring and ensure they're connected correctly. And just when you thought the test cards couldn't be any more useful, we've added some test blips so you can check your Dolby setup at any time, as well as ensuring that your sound system is in sync. Take a look at the dials here on the test cards. As the pointer in the dial hits the top, you will hear a blip. But if your sound system is out of sync, then the blip will be heard either before or after the pointer reaches the top. If it appears that you have a sync issue, then do not worry. You can calibrate your system via the SkyQ box by adding a delay. This can be found under the audio visual menu, where you can add your delay to your HDMI or optical audio output, whichever one your sound system is using. Then you can adjust the sound delay to synchronize what you see on your TV to what you hear. Following on from the blips and dials, you'll see that we've added a test for each speaker in a Dolby 5.1 setup to help you ensure they're all working correctly. So you should be able to hear tone coming from each individual speaker as highlighted on the card. Wow, that's a lot of ground to cover. So well done. 5.1 setup to help you. Following on from the blips and dials, you'll see that we've added a test for each speaker in a Dolby 5.1 setup to help you ensure they're all working correctly. So you should be able to hear tone coming from each individual speaker as highlighted on the card. Wow, that's a lot of ground to cover. So well done for sticking with it. And now that we have your 5.1 or Atmos setup in place and everything is in sync, let's take it for a spin, shall we? Let's.
HDR HD 584 On Life
594 New Media HD
5 HD 604 Nickelodeon HD
605 Nicktoons
606 Nick Jr. HD 607 CBBC 608 CBeebies
609 Sky Kids
610 Cartoonito 611 Boomerang Plus One 612 CITV
613 Nick Jr. 2
614 Pop 615 Tiny Pop 616 Nickelodeon Plus One 617 RTE Junior Republic of Ireland only 618 Tiny Pop Plus One 619 Pop Plus One 620 Pop Max 621 Pop Max Plus One 622 Nick Jr. Plus One 623 Nickelodeon HD, Republic of Ireland only. 624 RTE Junior, Northern Ireland only. 625 Nick Junior HD, Republic of Ireland only.
626 Baby TV.
640 Cartoon Network. 641 Boomerang. 642 Nickelodeon. 643 CBBC HD. 644 CBeebies HD.
I'll be back. Open Spotify. I'll be back. Open Spotify.
You won't believe it. The power of herbal essences, infused with argan oil. Hair is up to 2 times more nourished. Herbal essences, what a feeling.
This is Sky Glass.
Why would I get Sky Glass and not a smart TV?
Because it's smarter. It's a 4K TV with a built-in soundbar, and it all works.
More nourished. Herbal essences, what a feeling.
This is Sky Glass.
Why would I get Sky Glass and not a smart TV?
Because it's smarter. It's a 4K TV with a built-in soundbar, and it all works over Wi-Fi, so you don't need a dish.
Anything else?
Yep, now you can add our new Sky Live camera, which lets you watch together when you're not together, play interactive games, or analyse your workout in real time.
That is smart.
No, it's smarter. And right now, with our introductory offer, you can save over £140 when you get the Sky Glass TV and the new Sky Live camera. Find out more at sky.com.
Press the button. Think of the paella. Go see for yourself. Yes, Sandra! Search and compare flights on Kayak.
Greg?
As long as you're a UK resident, aged 18 to 64, you can apply for a benefit amount up to £750,000. There's no medical or blood test, just a few health and lifestyle questions. £100,000 of life insurance cover could start at just £6.89 a month in the first year.
That's less than I thought. And with that money, we could pay off the mortgage.
And with Smart Cashback, you'll get 10% of your first year's premiums back after 12 months.
I'll go ahead.
At Smart Insurance, we offer a 100% advance for terminal illness and a straightforward claims process. Plus, when you take out a policy, you'll get a £100 gift card. To get a quote today, call 0800 158 3451 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Open sea, open house, open swing, open nous.
This is what top sport is all about.
Open links, open space, open history, open face. What will be this open story? Who will bask in open glory?
Finest players in the world at the top of their game. Time to send it.
The Open Championship from Royal Liverpool. The drama awaits. Starts Thursday the 20th of July, live on Sky Sports.
This is Ashes cricket. This is what it's all about.
The Ashes third test continues live on Sky Sports.
Sky Sports News, sponsored by Shaw Non-Stop Protection.
Right, let's find out who today's mystery player is. Loads of you got this right this morning. We know he pursued a career in football while 9 of his relatives played professional rugby. He also became the first Australian to score at a World Cup. That was in 2006 while he was playing for Everton. Also prolific in the air, scored many a header in the Premier League, all followed by that iconic celebration that you can see there in the corner. It is, of course, Tim Cahill. And Alex, loads of people got it right this morning.
Yeah, lots of people got it right, but congratulations to, I'm not sure what your name is, but your Twitter handle is Brown Slices, and you were the first one to say Tim Cahill, so congratulations, Brown Slices. Then Lewis Barrett, you also got it right. Kai, you got it right. Johnny got it right. Milky got it right. Amusing Ryan got it right. Johnny Bevan got it right. Jorge Lopez got it right. And you even said the minute the goal was scored in. So
that
well
is
done.
An extra point. Also, a shout out to
89
Steve
minutes.
Clark, who said this could hopefully be the first mystery player I've got on the second guess. Is it Tim Cahill? Yes, Steve, you were right. It was. Well done.
Yeah.
You got it on the second guess.
So yeah, just 2 more in the top 10. Danny and Matthew. Patrick, sorry, you just missed out. But lots of right answers. Next time.
It was a great day for British players yesterday at Wimbledon. Wins for Liam Brody and Katie Bolter, followed up by Andy Murray, rolling back the years on centre court.
Our reporter Daniel Khan is at the All England Club for us before play gets underway, and he's joined by a former British #1.
Absolutely, it's a big day for the Brits, as you mentioned. They're headlined by the one and only Andy Murray. And to go through, I'm joined by Feds Cup captain, former Feds Cup captain and British tennis player Anne Kyothawong. And thanks so much for joining us on Sky Sports News this morning. As I mentioned, we have to start with Andy Murray. What did you make of his performance as he resumes against Stefanos Tsitsipas today?
Yeah, I thought it was really a very competitive match, tense for the majority of the 3 sets that we witnessed. And classic Andy Murray, you know, he had the crowd behind him. It lifted him. We saw some fantastic tennis from him. He's still covering the court well. My biggest concern, though, is how he pulls up this morning, because we saw the point before the last one, before they stopped because of the time. He slipped over and there was a loud shriek. It looked like, I'm not entirely sure what the issue is, whether it's groin or his hip, but it didn't look good. And hopefully it's nothing too serious. He can come back out today and perform at the very best level.
As you mentioned, we'll wait to see how severe or if that injury is serious or not. But in terms of how he was looking, as you mentioned there, he looks like he's really enjoying his tennis, especially after a few challenging years with injuries and his hip operation. How do you think how do you feel with him enjoying his tennis? And also, the draw might open up for him as well if he can get through this tough task with Tsitsipas.
Yeah, I think it's important not to look too far ahead, as excited as we get when Andy Murray's out there playing one of his, absolute thrillers on centre court. But he's spoken a lot about, this year coming into Wimbledon, he's the fittest and the healthiest he's been for a long time, and he hasn't downplayed his ability on grass at all. And regardless of the fact that he isn't seeded in the draw, he's still such a dangerous opponent. None of those guys want to play against him on a grass court. He knows his way around. He has the experience to do really well. And of course, you can't underestimate how important it is when the crowd get behind you on a big show court like that. How it lifts your spirits and your level. And he knows how to use it to his advantage.
And Murray aside, it's been a fantastic championship so far for the other Brits as well. Liam Brody and Cam Norrie back in action today, and Katie Bolter winning again yesterday. What have you made of the 3 of them?
Look, I think for Katie Bolter, brilliant effort to reach the third round again after her run last year. Next match will be a lot tougher against the defending champion, Elena Rybakina. Hopefully that will get to centre court, I expect, tomorrow. But for today, Cam and Liam. Cam's had some time off. Liam, it's a tough turnaround. That was a huge win. His first top 5 win against Casper Ruud yesterday, and first win on centre court. So, those are the moments you live for, and he's such a popular guy, fun guy to be around. Everyone is absolutely delighted for him. It doesn't get any easier. And then for Cam Norrie, it's business as usual. He's always well prepared. It's another opportunity for him to get out there. He's had enough time to prepare, and yeah, look, they're two very different matches. Cameron is a heavy favourite in his. Liam's still the underdog, but after yesterday's epic win, hopefully he's recovered well, and he can produce some of that magic again today.
And Kyothawong, thank you very much. It'll be really interesting to see how the Brits get on today at Wimbledon. Hannah, Alex, we're going to go to Henman Hill or Murray Mount or even Norrie's Knoll. I'm not sure which, but we'll save you a spot. We'll see you later, yeah?
Oh, sounds brilliant. Yeah, save us a spot and get the Pims in. Thanks, Dan.
Now stand by for a brilliant solo goal from a teenage prospect and a glaring miss from an experienced pro as Plymouth beat Hearts 1-0 in a pre-season match in Marbella. The only goal of the game came from 16-year-old Freddie Isaka, who produced a stunning finish in the first half. Hearts went close to an equaliser when Andy Halliday played in Lawrence Shankland, but he missed the target.
Now to a major injury scare for the Republic of Ireland ahead of the Women's World Cup, which begins in less than 2 weeks' time.
Captain Katie McCabe was taken off with an ankle injury in last night's 3-0 defeat to France.
She said herself that she stepped on a foot and she rolled over her ankle, so we don't know.
What's the process? A scan later tonight or tomorrow?
I don't know. You need to ask the doctor. I know she has iced. She's walking. It's not that she's on crutches or so. So we have good hopes, but yeah, we need to see. We don't know.
Well, the Republic of Ireland thought they'd taken the lead, but Kira Carusa had her goal ruled out for offside. Replays, though, appeared to show that the goal should have stood, and this was Carusa's reaction when we showed the footage to her.
Bruh! Bruh! This one, how are you gonna tell me? No, I see. Oh, because I remember, I was like, just get your body. I was like, get your body between her and the ball first. Oh my gosh.
Quite the reaction, wasn't it? We then followed up by asking Carusa how she really felt after seeing that replay.
I would say this: ball was in the back of the net in the World Cup. VAR looks at that. That's a goal. Game-changing moment right there. So, as a striker, that's what I got to remember, and that ball goes in the back of the net anytime.
Right, spare a thought for